Hey guys, today we're going to talk about exactly why you are stuck in a weight loss plateau and you can't continue to lose weight. You may be someone who is bouncing in between weights and you can't seem to just consistently go down. The reason why is because when you continuously lose weight, your body starts requiring less calories and you need to go into a deeper deficit. Other than that, let's get into it.
Welcome to the Fat Loss Plateau. We are going to dive in exactly how we can fix this issue. This is the chart that I built for you guys. So let's get into it. So first things first is starting your cut, right? You guys are trying to lose fat, maybe get a six pack, maybe look more shredded. So let's just say the start of the cut, we're going to set our calories to 2,500, okay? But while I'm going through this presentation, just imagine what your set of calories is right now, and then we're just going to stick with that. But let's just say it is 2,500 calories, right? That's what we need to eat every single day to lose weight. Let's just say it's maybe a 500 calorie deficit and their normal maintenance is 3K. So, first, weeks 1 to 2, if weight is dropping, great. We're going to keep the calories the same. That means you guys are currently in a cut, it's working, you're losing fat. Let's just say you're losing 1 pound a week. All right, you're going to stay consistent. This is what we want. Next, if it isn't dropping, we're going to see what's going on. Okay, we're going to see how many steps we're doing. We're going to see how many minutes we're doing on certain cardio machines. Whatever we're doing to lose weight, we're going to see if we're doing enough. And we're also going to see if we're tracking our food correctly. Because those are the two things that you could be doing wrong. Either you're not doing enough cardio, second, you're not in a deep enough deficit, or you're not actually tracking your food. And what I mean by tracking your food, I mean tracking the sauces that you eat, tracking the oil that you use to cook food, tracking the butter, tracking the drinks that you drink, right? Every single thing. So those three things are going to be very, very important. After you check and see what's wrong, if your steps are good, if you're doing the right amount of cardio, if you're actually tracking your food, and if you're in the calorie deficit, you will start to lose weight. But it's just going to be one of those three things. Next, we're going to go into weeks 3 to 4. Now, weeks 3 to 4 could also be a couple months down the line because fat loss plateaus can happen in a month, maybe 2 months or 3 months. Let's just say it's 3 to 4 weeks later, you notice fat loss starts slowing down, or a couple months later starts slowing down. You're not losing as much weight. That's normal. That's okay. Now let's move on to the next step. After 2 weeks of not seeing the scale drop, that's when a plateau is detected. That's when you have reached, okay, I'm not losing weight anymore. Maybe you're bouncing up in weight. Maybe you're losing weight and then you're bouncing back up. You're just in the cycle of not losing weight anymore and you're trying to fix this. Once you've reached the plateau, this is when we make a small adjustment. So we are going to be cutting 100 to 200 calories more into the deficit. So let's just say the current deficit was, what was it? It was 2,500. Ignore the horrible handwriting. It is hard to write on this thing. Imagine the deficit was 2,500. We're going to now make it, let's just say 2,300, right? We'll go into a 200 calorie deficit. So now you're at 2,300. On top of that, we also want to add more cardio, meaning let's just say you walk 10K steps a day, you are going to want to add 2 to 3K more steps. So that'd be walking 12 to even 13K steps a day. Let's just say you're someone that does incline walk on the treadmill and usually do cardio for 30 minutes. Let's bump that up to 35 minutes and see what changes. Or let's see you do Stairmaster for 20 minutes. Let's bump that Stairmaster up to 25 minutes and see what changes. Or you can also increase the intensity. But when it comes to fat loss, I'm a big fan of LISS, low intensity, steady state cardio, because when you're doing low intensity cardio, you are going to lose a lot more fat compared to doing medium range cardio, like going on a light jog or jogging or things like that. If you really want to lose weight, you either want to do low intensity workouts like walking or even Stairmaster, but at a low intensity where you can walk and talk to somebody and have a conversation without really losing your breath, or you want to do very, very high intensity workouts like sprinting or high intensity circuits. I'm not really a big fan of jogging unless you just want to get better endurance, but it's really not necessary for when it comes to losing fat. The most effective is low intensity and high intensity. So let's just say you've added these two adjustments, right? You cut down on the calories and you also added more cardio, 2 to 3K steps, or you raise the time of the cardio. We're going to wait 10 to 14 days. Now, if you notice that you're starting to lose weight again, great. We're going to keep the calories the same. However, if you notice you are still in a plateau, this is going to be the second adjustment. The second adjustment is we're going to reduce the calories by 100 one more time. So let's say you're at 2,300 and you're still in the plateau. Now you're going to be at 2,200, right? So we're going to reduce the calories 100 more. Or instead, you can also add 10 to 15 minutes of cardio. So if you're walking for 30 minutes, walk for 45 minutes. If you're doing incline walk for 30 minutes, walk for 40 minutes, and so on. So once you have this second adjustment, that's when you should be good. That's when you should be losing weight again. You should be in the green. You guys should be good to go. If you're still not losing weight and in a plateau, it's either these three things. You're either not tracking your food correctly, you're either not actually adding more time to your cardio, or last but not least, you are not in a deep enough deficit. So let's just say your energy drops and it's super low. You guys are losing energy, strength is dropping, you're feeling weak. This happens when you're in a cut. All this means is that you've been in a deep deficit for too long and it's taking a toll on your hormones, it's affecting your mood, you're losing energy. All this means is it's time for your body to take a break and then continue the cut. So what I suggest is taking a 1 to 2 week maintenance break. Most likely 1 week. If you need 2 weeks, go for it. But this is just eating at your maintenance calories for 1 week. If you guys still want to do cardio, you could do light cardio, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. But make sure you're eating at maintenance. And this is so we can just refill our body with glycogen, making sure we're having enough energy for the day, making sure we are restoring the way we usually feel, making sure our mood feels a little bit better. That's it. It's just a quick little diet break. Then we can continue back to the cut, right? So if everything is a-okay, that's when you just want to continue the cut. If you're fine, perfect. But eventually, like I said, if your energy does drop, take that diet break. And last but not least, guys, is just understanding a smaller body just means fewer calories are burned. So eventually, when you guys are losing weight, let's just say you're losing weight, everything's going good. Eventually, you're going to reach a point to where you're not losing weight anymore and you're confused. Why am I not losing weight anymore? I'm doing the cardio, I'm eating in a calorie deficit because smaller body equals fewer calories burned. What that means is when you get to a certain weight, let's just say you lost 10 or 15 pounds or 20, 30 pounds, and so on, you are going to realize, wait a minute, I'm not losing weight anymore. That's because your body burns fewer calories. So your deficit that you're in has now turned into your maintenance, and you need to drop the deficit even more. So let's just say you're at 2,300, you're at a plateau, you're like, what's going on? Well, you are skinnier now, right? You weigh less. So your body requires a fewer amount of calories. So now it's time to drop that deficit to 2,200 or even 2,100. I don't recommend doing big drops. Remember, always drop between 100 to 200 calories. Never just shoot to 500. That's horrible. But hopefully this made sense to you guys. Just wanted to talk about the weight loss plateau, why it happens. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram at Giovanni_Federio. And if you want to book a call with me to actually discuss a plan to get you going, go ahead and book a call in the link below. Other than that, I'll see you guys later. Peace.